there is importance in tradition. It is important for us to uphold the heart of hip-hop, which is
Doechii!
lyrical composition. It is skill.
I'm starting to believe replay value alone is an often overrated measurement of the quality of a song. Being from TDE, Doechii is the product of artist development.
DIY.
Okay, DIYers, over the last week, Doechii sat down with Apple Music and did an interview with Ebro and talked about not only the project Alligator Bites Never Heal, which is, going viral in so many different places. You're seeing a lot of people talking about this project. And man, shout out to the ladies this year, bro. Like, this has really been y'all year in all aspects of media, sports. I salute y'all. I love being able to highlight your contributions. Shout out to Rhapsody, who also put out an amazing project this year. I'm loving this year. Angel Reese, I hated that she got her injury. I ain't never watched this much women's basketball in my life, but shout out to Angel Reese. But with that, Doechii sat down and talked about something that was really interesting about what she feels like inspired the sound of her project, which has like a real soulful boom bap feel. But then also, she talks about the direction she feels like hip hop is going next. Listen to what she has to say, because it's a really interesting perspective. I believe she's 23, so this is really interesting to see, because we know, being from TDE, Doechii is the product of artist development. Check it out.
But my roots in rap are from boom bap, and I taught myself how to rap through like battle style rapping. And with me kind of coming back to myself, I'm recently completely sober, no nicotine, no alcohol, no smoking, no nothing.
Shout out to you.
And so I just kind of fell in love with hip hop. And I realized that there is a sense of tradition in hip hop that I really want to represent and bring back.
Trying to make me more of a fan, son.
Think about Ebro for a second. And the hell that he probably had to been through the last X amount of years, ever since that little Uzi Vert interview. I bet there was a time, and Ebro's probably said this, I don't know. It's probably a time Ebro hated his job. As amazing as it is to be able to interview all these artists, he probably hated his job. He like, this ain't what I got into this hip hop shit for. Got me sitting in front of a nigga that don't want to rap on a rap platform, talking about I ain't a rapper, I'm a rock star, even though he's still rapping. Whatever. I'm pretty sure that he was sick of this shit. So him hearing this, you can see he all giddy and shit. It's time, man.
Yo, y'all see what she doing?
No, but for real though, I feel like there is importance in tradition. I feel like it is important for us to uphold the heart of hip hop, which is
Doechii!
lyrical composition. It is skill. It is wittiness, but it is also talking about our feelings, being honest about what we're going through, and connecting us as people.
There you go.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
You don't hear artists get an opportunity to talk like this, man. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other artists that feel this way. But because of the pressure they have from labels, field of people who don't look like them, don't care about their experience, have one idea of what blackness should be, they're told the kind of image they should have. I thought it was really discouraging when you saw 21 Savage at one time talk about how he didn't spend his money stupidly and how he wanted to make investments and he wanted to like focus on things that could uplift him, his people, and his community. And then they quickly changed the narrative around all that shit. You didn't really get too many of those conversations anymore. And then you started to see him in a light where we're talking about him, being an immigrant, and they're starting to get him and get him out of here. It's just interesting that now we're finally in a time where we're allowing these artists to really be the human beings that they are. They've always been. But the thing about it is the artists have very little control, yet they get most of the blame whenever we see them acting wild. And they have to take accountability because they said yes to the deals. They signed the deals. But I love what's happening here because she is 23, right? Let me make sure. 26. Still, that's so young. Like, fairly young in this game, man. And that's encouraging because there are young artists who are looking at her and saying, wait a minute, I don't have to do this. I could do this. But once again, this is what happens when you put the professionals in place. And I do feel like that is part of the change we're about to experience in hip hop. Is there going to always be some ignorant shit? Of course. It has to be. The issue has never been there being ignorant thoughts, destructive thoughts solely in music. That has always existed in some capacity. The issue, I think, with mainstream rap is that they don't have the balance they used to have when it was a De La Soul, it was NWA, or you had NWA and Fresh Prince on the same tour. There was at least an opportunity for you to say, not for me, this is for me. Not for me, this is for me. They just give you only one side, and that side is through the lens of people who don't care about this culture, don't care about our people.
And I feel like, especially in the time of an economic recession, people need to feel things right now. And we need to talk about it, and we need to do it through rap, which is why I chose the sonical direction that I chose. Was like, I want to take us back to this classic space in hip hop and just remind people of the traditional roots of where this started and do it in my way and push it forward.
Yeah, that's good. Look at him. Look at he's so happy. He's so happy. He like, finally, man. I was born by the river in a little tent. He getting emotional. And just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming. You can look at him. Look at him. He just feel it. He feel it.
The interview's over. That's it. It's done. We're done here. Thanks for coming out.
We gotta rap.
This is the artist Doechii. She makes great rap. And that's the interview.
And she said you know what?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth.
You hear that? Did you hear at the end? You hear what she said? In the middle of him going off on his rant, she volunteered to do the thing he couldn't get. Now you got to pull the video up.
Fell off at the end.
Yeah. Put another beat on. Shit.
Nah, because all I got is old man beats and you're not built for
Hey,
that.
listen. It's gonna be a lot of young guys coming up here, and they ain't gonna want to rap on that. I'm trying to tell you, it's changing.
Yo, look.
It's changing.
I hope they change.
It's changing, bro.
I hope they change. But as I've seen with all you little young motherfuckers that think you nice.
Yeah.
He is pretty nice.
You nice.
Yeah, I'm good.
Y'all get to like 27, 28, and y'all niggas get to struggling, and y'all be trying to come back to find that sound.
I ain't gonna struggle, bro.
And you know, shout out to Uzi Vert, because he for sure got his sales. And I think that there was an investment of people who made sure that he stayed relevant. It don't mean he was right in his moment. It don't mean that he was right. That logic was pushed by people who don't rap. That if long as you sell a bunch of records, that means that you won that argument. All he asked the guy to do was rap on a hip hop platform that his people connected them with. That's all he had to do. All he asked to do. He don't want to rap. I don't want to rap. Vince Staples said it. I don't rap for free. This don't mean that Ebro was wrong because he went and sold a bunch of records. See, that's that academics logic. I make money, I got views, so that shit mean that everything that I said was right and you're invalid. No. Because I'm going to tell you, as we move into this next space, if these artists that have enjoyed their time in the light don't readjust to what some of these younger artists are now saying are their new morals, their new foundation, they too will be thoughts of yesterday. So watch how they start to readjust now too.
We gotta rap.
The artist Doechii, she makes great rap, and as the interview's over, I don't have to say anything. You know what I'm saying? Let's play "Denial Is a River."
Oh God.
Yeah, let's park it right there. I want to draw your attention to two things. One of them is going to be actually one thing I posted on my YouTube, but here's something that Russ said that I resonated with, and this is in August 17th, 2024. One of the pillars of rap music is being a lyricist, which I believe Doechii is. So I think if you're not that, you're not exactly honoring the craft. But people who started listening to rap in 2014 don't give a F and will claim non-lyrical rap as evolution as opposed to an erosion of the essence of the art form.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I know there's a lot of opposing views on Russ because he shares a lot of opinions that some people do and don't agree with. I think he's spot on here.
Hey man, I can see him now, screwing up they face, sizing up a square like me, like I'm out of place, like I'm out of pocket. Like my story now valid in these California alleys where I seen them getting active. Mama raised me in the church over 54 and hoop. Around the same crib, we would live in seclusion. It was a couple of OGs looking after moms. The same ones that saw whips that would make them pause. It was St. Peter's Rock around 92. My mama had me sitting in that front pew. She played piano in a choir that I clung to. They would hug on me and tell me I'm your aunt too. They had on bamboo earrings, cross-colored clothes. Give me anything that I want from the liquor store. On the floor, they would pray when they turn off the lights. Cause every New Year's, niggas busted the sky. I'm a South Central LA product to talk proper. Made it out the bottom, no fitting in 8 columns. Got some Trey Styles, and I really had no choice without my pops. I could've easily got
ghetto, but I'm representing for the West Coast. Always put the pedal to the metal, cause I'm representing for the West Coast. I'm always getting to the chili. Go take my resume, you feel me? All of that hate you need to let go, cause I'm representing for the West Coast.
He said respecting a culture means being educated on its history, honoring certain core values, and being a lyricist is one of the core values of hip-hop, which is why all the evolutionary hip-hop artists, Drake, Kendrick, and Cole, are still the biggest. By the way, things can sound good while simultaneously being an erosion of the art form.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Oh, Russ Cook. Can I draw your attention to some posts that I put up here that some of you have some very opposing views on, and I understand why. I'm not somebody that's going to look for the most popular things to say that you guys are going to agree with. I do believe that a lot of times I get these ideas fed to me, right? I get these ideas fed to me, and I cannot shake them for the life of me. And I feel like it's because I have a purpose to share them and hopefully bring new wrinkles to very old traditions that need to be challenged. This is one of them. One word that I heard very early on in my music career was replay value, and how you need to make music that has replay value, right? Some would argue that there are songs on Doechii's project that have replay value. Some people will be like, nah, it's just not for me because, it's too lyrical or it's too whatever. It's boring, whatever they say. I don't say any of that because I think it's all an experience. It's like a movie-like experience with Doechii. With that said, I said this: I'm starting to believe replay value alone is an often overrated measurement of the quality of a song. I think some songs, just like films, are structured to be consumed with a more thoughtful and attentive ear and eye. Some music is structured like IG Reels, short and literally made or solely made for replay value. I think about certain movies like, I've only met a handful of people who say Titanic is their favorite movie, but I know that movie did hella sales in the box office. That movie came in a 2-box VHS set. I'm old enough to remember that. It's a long ass movie. That's not a movie that you just like watch over and over and over again. I'll give you a better one. Malcolm X, Spike Lee movie. Amazing movie. Great cinematography. Didn't win the awards and shit up, but an amazing, one of my favorites. But that is a movie that is an event because of how long it is and because of how layered the story is, how layered the life of Malcolm X was. It takes time to consume that one. And then there's movies like Money Talks. I love Money Talks. People think that's not even the best Chris Tucker movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Why? It's funny. It's surface level. It's easy to consume. It's a bunch of memorable lines. But I'll never get it twisted in trying to compare Money Talks to Malcolm X. It's just two different positions. If this was NBA, it'd be like a center versus a point guard. They play two different roles. So I'm starting to think of music as replay value. It's saying like, maybe some music is made to be more long-winded so that you enjoy it for that one-time experience. It's a lot of Kendrick songs like that. Because I was asking myself, I was like, there's certain songs in a battle that when they dropped, like Meet the Grams, oh man, I played it over and over again because there was so much nuance. Then I was like, I feel kind of crazy listening to that song over and over again in traffic. And it don't really like, that's not the kind of music I'm, you know what I'm saying? Over and over and over and over. But I understand its purpose. So I still go back to that song when I want to have an experience, like I want to re-experience the battle, and it has nothing to do with how great or how whatever that song is. That song is still amazing, but it was made for that experience. So, next slide on this one. McDonald's has replay value because it's cheap, convenient, accessible, and consistent. It's either consistently bad, consistently salty, consistently whatever. Some of you don't want to admit it because I know McDonald's is trash. I get it. It's the worst kind of food you can have. But let's not lie. For those of you that are not like super health conscious, I'm working on myself. There have been some times where you're like, I think I want a McFlurry. I don't eat it. I want a McFlurry and a small fry. You know how many times my wife went to go get some food for my son, and then she was like, you want something? And I was like, no, I'm trying to do better. All right, just give me an apple pie. Maybe 2 for $1. But that's the thing about it. You're not trying to consume that, but that's what it's made for. It has replay value, but it doesn't mean that it produces anywhere near the best burger. Is anybody in here convinced that McDonald's makes the best burger? Shit, smack no, it got replay value. I think of most music with replay value the same way. That's all I'm getting at.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Handy Fanwith said, I haven't eaten McDonald's in 20 years. God bless you. You a strong individual. This is what I'm getting at is that I think because I was really asking myself, I was like, one of the biggest arguments people had about this whole, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake battle was that them songs ain't got no replay value. But then I thought about it. I was like, somebody just made another point about another movie, The Godfather. There's not enough time in a day to be watching The Godfather, as great of a movie as it is, 5 or 6 times in a day. Even on Christmas, when they play A Christmas Story on TNT, I'm not finna watch that shit 8 times in a day. It's a great movie. It's a classic movie. I'm not finna watch that 8 times in a day. But there's no denying its replay value per year and what it is. It's an experience. So I think that a lot of folks who make music, including myself, have been brainwashed to believe that that is the only kind of music you should be making. I think that there are experiences that sometimes are shorter, even though it's a lot going on, that is made simply because it is a thought that you wanted to share with the world and you want them to repeat over and over again. In the same way, that's what Not Like Us is to me. Over and over and over again. Let's run it again. Let's run it again.
One more time.
Easy to consume. We know that that's what it is. So I think a true artist has the ability to make both. Ayana, you make a great point. I think it's the streaming culture. When you had to buy people's music, people didn't say that. I'm sorry, here we go. People didn't say this. When it's flooding the market, people lose the meaning. And I think that's what's changing. I do feel like that's what's changing. Because when people are starting to put their music on their websites, like Lotto put her music on her website, Kanye's put his music on a website, Alchemist has been doing this. That changes the type of music that's being made. That changes the expectation. Because now when people realize, oh, when we let Doechii have time to cook, this is what we get. I'd rather have this than having McDonald's all the damn time. Because now the nourishment of my soul, that means something to me. Same way people that get health conscious and start downing some sea moss, I think people are getting conscious about their consumption of media. And I do feel like that's part of the change that's happening. It's so subtle though, that there's some people who are so stuck on McDonald's. They're like, man, ain't nobody changing their health habits. It's still a long line at McDonald's. They still got 1 billion burgers sold. It doesn't mean that stuff is not shifting in other environments, and I feel like that's what's happening. Shout out to Doechii, because I feel like Doechii is a part of that change. I feel like TDE in general has always tried to usher in that narrative, right? No matter what you want to say, they've always ushered in that narrative of music that is meant to be an experience that lasts longer than a experience. Those are my thoughts, though, DIYers. You let me know what you think. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.